Good morning. Good morning. I am John Halcyon Stin, and this is Love Morning, or the gathering formerly called Love Morning, or a jolt of love I'm experiencing during morning. But it is a opportunity to connect. It is a practice of showing up and giving yourself a moment each day to remind yourself, who do I want to be? What is the direction I want to head? Do I need to fill my curriculum for today with self-care? Do I want to push myself to be a more outwardly facing love ambassador in the world? Can I seize an opportunity to say hello or good morning or thank you or wow, love those shoes to somebody today? Or is today a day of survival? Is today a day that we might text a friend with just a thinking about you? Or is today going to just fly by where we stay in reactivity all day long, just reacting to what happens without really thinking about how do I want to respond to that? And that's kind of my intention of these mornings, is to pause the inertia that begins to form during a day and just kind of wait, how am I doing? Who am I? And maybe what I need to do, as this is in a bit of a transition part of this practice for me, is to not just pick up the script that I've been picking up of this is what the morning is about. This is what being a love ambassador is to me. When I do coaching, the the coaching I used to do, we began by creating our own kind of manifesto and workshopping. What are the things that we want to say? This is who I am today. And it was everyone made their own. And then this January, when I did a workshop, I presented, here is a manifesto of what a love ambassador is, and asked people if they wanted to embrace it or extend it or edit it. But as I say this out loud, maybe it's time for me to slip back or extend forward to the more active creation of that I am statements, so that I can free myself of any feeling of not living up to that task or being bad at the job of love ambassador, which I should say has never been reflected to me from anyone, not from you, not from anyone who's watched, not from anyone who has written. It is purely an internal identity thing. There is a gap between a self-perceptive identity of who I think I need to be and how I am feeling. And so maybe if I spend a little bit more time making those I am statements, maybe less focused on I am a vessel of love in the world, maybe it is I am a seeker of personal truth. I am compassionate with my self-judgment. I am seeking the stories I tell myself that are no longer true. I am valuing the people that I have connections with. Well, good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. If you are joining us, we are making this up as we go. Good morning, Razor Blade and Jennifer. Good morning, Rock. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Jobin and Christopher and Kiri and good morning, Jason. Jason, I read your email right before going live, and I have to tell you, thank you for sharing. Thank you for allowing me to feel you deeply And your trust, your truth, your strength, your your humanity has me so inspired right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I see the names here this morning, thank you for everyone who has given me notes or thoughts or even a little comment here that has helped me to expand my perspective beyond sometimes the dark lens that I can slip into at times. Christopher also sent me a beautiful note, as did Jobin, as has Gerbot, as has Kiri. Man, this is my cheering section, my co-counselors in my therapy group. Thank you, everyone. I'm doing really good today. I'm feeling really good today. I feel like the process of some of these love mornings the last few days have been really cathartic for me, and just kind of acknowledging and confessing some of my self-judgments, acknowledging and seeing where I think that my beliefs are out of alignment with my value system. When I say, and by that I mean where, like, I believe that, or my value system is that you do not need to do anything to be worthy of love. But I don't fully believe that about myself. And that's not a belief that you can just change with words or saying logically, yes, I understand that. That is a deep belief that needs to be worked through with breath work, with trauma work, with psychedelics, with meditation, with time. And I'm totally confident that, and in fact, I feel like the process of the last few days has been super therapeutic for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me space and reminding me and reflecting back your belief in this value system and your belief in me. I am working to make some distance between my dependence on external reflections. But as a human being living in a social world, you can't fully separate yourself from others. It is a symbiotic relationship that we have with our identity, with how we are seen and perceived by others. So it is a helpful tool, just as it can be a crutch, just like a substance, just like anything. And so I'm so grateful to have such open-hearted, loving partners in this, so that I can continue to have my interactions with people be a tool, and becoming more aware of when it is a crutch. Kiri is grateful to feel empowered and inspired to do some work towards my business this morning. Nice. That is an area that I think has been tugging at me as I've boy, it's interesting to think about. So I have never been very future focused at all. I never thought I would live this long. I did not make plans to be living in the world with a body this long. And I certainly am not planning for 10 years from now. But that has changed in this new experience of being in a relationship with Lisa and with building a life together. And I'm having to really push my brain to be like, well, rather than thinking about what's happening next week, what needs to happen next week if you want some effects in the next year or 2 years? If I want to move out of this apartment into a house, what will be required? And I've been having a hard time getting excited about those things. Instead, they feel daunting and discouraging. And that I fall into as I start to look at my place in the world and how I can create value and how I can increase my revenue and things like that. I slip into comparison mode often. That's a dangerous space for me to start seeing what I should have done or what I could have done or what others are doing better than me. And I can lose my footing in that really beautiful grounded place where I felt deeply in purpose. So I'm now trying to regain my footing, regain that knowledge of enoughness, and then explore other possibilities, other dreams and goals without being so attached to them that it pulls me out of the joy of the now. I can be really good at being happy with what is. And how do you stay happy with what is without getting so complacent that you don't work towards something better? Without getting better, starting to make you judge what you have now as worse. That's a tough one. And it gets complicated when you're connected to other people in partnership. I want, one of the things that makes me want to have nicer things is because I want to provide a nicer life for Lisa, for us. And sometimes the motivation to do that makes my mind go into a dissatisfaction with what I have now. And now I'm in the trap of I'll be happy once I ... So, man, I'm not sure if that made any sense, but it's certainly resonating and landing for me. So thank you for your patience. Good morning, Lori and Azul. Good morning, Javi and Chris. Jennifer says, you help us realize that even during struggles, there is joy. Even during, so there you go. You corrected yourself and I posted the wrong one. Thanks, Jennifer. So true. That is really the advanced course that I'm working on right now is embracing growth over comfort. And when I have discomfort, not just losing all of my spiritual practices and all of my footing. And that how can discomfort be embraced and even feel good because you are in pursuit of growth. That is a really hard one for me. Highlight that in my mental brain. Good morning, Lauren. And good morning, Michelle. And Randy. And Janet. And Mark. I have to mention, and a few people have said so, I am so grateful for First Saturdays. Yesterday was the 14th anniversary of First Saturdays. So once a month, every first Saturday of the month for 14 years, with the exception of Burning Man and a few other traveling experiences, I have showed up with Merrick and Jason and crews of people and gone downtown and given out care packs and clothing and food monthly for 14 years. One of our helpers, Trevor from SAPVN, his group brings pizza each week, and we were talking about it. He said, "Hey, congrats on 14 years." I go, "How old are you?" And he's like, 17. I'm like, "Oh my god." He goes, "Yeah, I was 3 when you guys started this." Wow. But this weekend, we had I knew we were gonna have too many volunteers or more volunteers than we needed, but I also didn't wanna tell anyone not to come if they wanted to. So, we had tons of people. I couldn't count. It was no easy way to count. So, I'd say 100 plus volunteers. And we initially, when we had 100 plus people there, and there's people coming to me, what can I do? Is there anything I can do? What can I do? What can I do? And I'm like, I don't have jobs for 100 people when we're getting set up, especially when a lot of people show up early and we've already organized the clothes and we added almost twice as many tables yesterday because we had so many donations. Our tables went up into the parking lot where we had the Loveworks crew there with their musical bus playing tunes with a DJ, and we had extra tables with tons of blankets. We just had so much stuff. Um, it was great. It was really it was really fun. It was a little hectic, like, all I could really do is walk around and just make sure that things weren't getting too crazy, and everyone did great. It actually that felt good that there's enough people who've been coming along enough that, um, it runs pretty well once it's started. I just need to kinda get people going. Even when I showed up, there were veteran volunteers that were, like, explaining to the new volunteers, "All right, we're gonna organize over here, and then we're gonna do this. This is with the men's tables." I'm like, "As you were." Good morning, Carla. And good morning, Joyous. So I am feeling good today. Did I mention that? I'm grateful that I am feeling good. I'm grateful that I had a pretty good pain day yesterday. I think I'm getting the handle of how to use my traction machine, and I think that's helping. And I also yesterday something I did differently. I did not watch any TV on the couch. I think the couch is not good for my neck, at least how I sit on it. So I watched TV yesterday sitting in my ball chair with good posture, and I think that helped. We'll see. Of course, today I could have a terrible day doing everything right. It's just I can't get too attached to that because once I think I'm like, oh, now I'm on the right track, it's getting better, and then I have a bad day and my mood goes wow. So I just need to keep doing the best I can and enjoy myself when I'm feeling good while also being careful without don't drop my head. Don't reach and carry things heavy with my right arm. Don't drop my head. But I'm gonna need to start exercising soon because I have not gone this long without exercising, maybe ever. I've never been like a hardcore gym rat, but I've been a very consistent person of push-ups and sit-ups and walking. And so now I've been really treating myself so gingerly, and I need to now figure out how to not let everything atrophy. Good thing I've got a physical therapy appointment Monday at 7:30 in the morning. So I'm grateful that I have access to physical therapy. I am grateful that I am at an appointment with a new chiropractor. I've not been happy with the first 2 that I tried in San Diego. I'm grateful for my body worker that I'm also seeing on Monday. Good morning, Steve. You're about saying use it or lose it. This is true, but there's also with the inflammation that using it increases inflammation. Like if I do a movement where my head drops and I feel pain, that's that sets me back. It's not like there's some pains that you got to work through. And there's some pains of uh, that increase mobility and then the muscle builds back with strength. But then there's some like because of the mechanics of my spine and nerves and discs that I need to let the inflammation go low enough that I do not feel pain, and then start to build up the muscles. So, are there other muscles that I can use um, with, or things that I can do without keep knocking myself back into that state of inflammation? That's why the epidural not working was so frustrating, because the goal of the epidural was to like chemically knock out the inflammation so that I could start to do more strengthening. Not so much. Joyous is grateful for the sun, the second day in a row. We got sunshine here too, and I'm so grateful we had sunshine yesterday. For Saturdays, a week ago, the forecast was rain, and for Saturdays is no fun when it's raining. We do it anyways because our message to our clientele is we will be here every first Saturday. You can count on us. We're thinking about you. We care about you. But it sucks when it's raining because we can't put clothes out. This will actually be my second time with physical therapist. The first time when he tested me and did everything, he said, "Okay, nothing but traction and rest for you. It's too fiery." So I'm better than that, not a ton better. I've already canceled one appointment because I was like, it's not, he's going to tell me the exact same thing. Carlos says, "Can you try the epidural again?" I believe I've been told that I can try it like once or twice, maybe 2 or 3 times, and then it starts to become dangerous. It just depends on who you ask, I guess. But this is supposed to be a one and done one. Oops. But I in my back pocket, I definitely am holding on to the need to do it again, because really, because of the structural problems of the last 20 years, the chance of me re-injuring myself, even if I feel great, are pretty good. Like, this is not the first time I've had this shoulder pain happen. It's just the first time it happened that it was so bad that it went into my arm, that I then got the scan to realize, oh, this is not a problem with the muscles in my shoulder. This is a problem with my neck. So tracing back, I can see I've had this problem has tapped me probably 6 times over the last 10 years. But the tap became a stab this last time, with the intensity and the relentlessness and the extension into my arm and hand. Oh boy, I could talk about pain all day. Anyone else have any gratitude that's to share? I am recognizing, I think I can't remember how much of this I think I shared this out loud, but that I'm realizing that the journey that I went on when I quit intoxicants, which was 11 and a half months ago, I was, I shaved my head then, and I really changed my practices and my media and my reading. I was riding my bike to the park and sitting by a big tree and reading about self-observation, and really my only hobby was personal growth, and really was letting go of identity and going through some dark spaces, and achieved more than I expected, and which led me to being in a place where I could receive and give love in a way that made the connection with Lisa possible. And that was such a joyful experience that I dropped the intensity of my personal growth. And I can see now that I have slipped back into some of the same patterns and identities. They're not bad things, but which is why it was hard to give up those things in the past. Like, I like being pink-haired, flamboyant, love ambassador John. So why would I want to give that up? Well, I needed to give all that up so that I could start to figure out who I am as a foundation without these identities that are layered on top. And I kind of slowed down to a trickle if that pursuit of stripping away. And I started building back from this place of a new awareness, this new committed partner, this new love ambassador in with different access to different levels of connection to love. And I think I slipped back into the comfort of some of my old identities. And I'm noticing through the injury, I'm giving the gift of like, hey, remember that course you dropped? You were like midway through the semester and it was all about like annihilating your identity. And then you met the girl and you dropped the class. Well, turns out you have a big incomplete on your spiritual record. So you don't have to take it now, but eventually you're gonna have to retake this course, or at least pick up where you left off, so you can get you can pass. Doesn't mean you graduate. It just means you won't have this nagging incomplete that keeps derailing you. And truth be told, you'll probably have to take this class over and over and over again. But dropping it mid-semester, you know, you are wrong to think that you get to skip a grade. Gerbot is grateful for this group and this morning practice. Thank you, Gerbot. I'm so glad that you're a part of it. And Gerbot also grateful I've conquered all the technical challenges. Yes. I say as I use technology to make words fly across the screen. Mark has had serious arthritic pain in one shoulder, then the next. I'm grateful right now I have minimal pain in neither. Good luck with your health. Thanks, Mark. My experience has been that, it's always been my experience that, your health is so interconnected to mental space. When you're sick, when you're injured, it takes a toll on your mindset for sure. And I think I have learned that cost is draining when it just doesn't stop. It just wears you down, like Netflix fees. Sure, it's at first it's only $10 a month, and then it's $23 a month, and then but after a few years, that's a fortune. Maybe a bad example, but I just signed up my parents to add to my Netflix account. And then the idea of that youthful story of injury being a temporary thing, and what do I need to do for this to heal? It's usually that didn't even mean much. The body is just so resilient. And then to slip into the possibility that it's going to be this way forever. And if this heals, then my body's just gonna be another thing that hurts. This is it has begun. The downwards descent has begun. And man, that is a heavy cost on the mind. And so learning how to be at peace and let go of the need for comfort it's a class I don't want to take. I don't, and yet it seems to be a prerequisite for a lot more things. Bob is grateful that he moved to Europe in 2021. It's probably the single best thing I've ever done. My quality of life has improved exponentially, and I'm so much happier. Right on. Love hearing that. Thank you for sharing. I love experiencing little jolts of joy from other people sharing their joy. So thank you. Brent is grateful to have my wonderful woman home from her visit with her new granddaughter. Ah, new granddaughters. Having your partner back. Thanks, Brent. Jennifer, grateful that my son is home from Colombia and his friend that lives there is coming to America this summer. That sounds like a movie poster. Coming to America this summer. Awesome, Jennifer. Yamil is grateful to get a pink envelope in the mail. Well, you are very welcome. I'm glad you got that. You got a special envelope with a few extra pictures. I sent everyone a picture that I took of them dressed in pink with a sunset on the day of our workshop, Love Ambassador workshop. But Emil was there with someone, so I sent her pictures of the two of them together as well. Don't tell the other guys that they only got one photo. But since I was already adding extra postage for you, never mind. Anyone last gratitudes to share before we have a hug and head off into our days? I will say again, Jason, I am so grateful for you and so grateful for your letter and so grateful for your courage and for letting me kind of spend a moment sitting with you through your sharing, through your truth. So thank you. And in doing so, it really is nourishing. It was nourishing to hear your truth and to witness how we're so interconnected and that it matters. You know, I was getting caught up. It's like it's this cascading thing. Okay, I want to provide something. I want to give my partner the home of her dreams. To do that, I need to get more resources. To get more resources, I need to find more revenue streams. To get more revenue streams, I need to start looking at what I'm qualified for. Oh, what am I? Oh, man, and I need to look at what other people are doing. Oh, and then I start to go, oh, well, gosh, here are things I should have done that. I couldn't do that. I can't do that. I should have done that. I should be better than that. I should have done that. And then I go, part of that is like, I need to have a bigger audience. I need to be doing things that are more this. And I forget the very truths that feed my soul, the very truths of direction, not distance. I said that to First Saturdays this weekend to the people. I'm like, hey, we're always going to run out of pizza. Don't get frustrated in that we failed, that we didn't get to feed every person. That's not the game. The game is, are we going the right direction? Every piece of pizza is a win, win, win. And so every gratitude shared today is a win. It's all of us stepping in the right direction. Are any of us depression-free and joyous and healthy for the rest of our lives? No. And if that's the goal, then every day will be failure. But if we can share a little gratitude each day, we can encourage other people, we can applaud and cheerlead others and be kind to ourselves. All right, well, that's the right direction. So I thank you for that beautiful reflection and that reminder. Thanks you for walking this path in this direction with me. I love you. Thank you. Wherever you are, let's give ourselves a hug. And as we feel the bodies who are in, let's appreciate all that's going on so good inside us. We might have an injury, we might be sick right now, but our body's relentlessly working to heal itself. And there's so many parts that are working perfectly. moisture being formed in all the right places, food being converted to energy, white blood cells kicking ass without us even knowing, systems upon systems keeping us in balance so that we can simply, pretty much 99% of our job is just to enjoy the ride and try not to upset the other passengers on the train, or I should say roller coaster. So let's have a moment to be grateful to be on this wild ride with amazing other people, and let's do what we can to elevate the joy that we experience and that others experience. And sometimes that just means taking care of ourselves. That is part of the equation. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze ourselves and one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you beautiful ambassadors of love, thanks for being here for this morning of love, this presence practice, this gratitude share. Thank you. I love you. Have a beautiful Sunday. Bye, Jobin. Bye, Azul. Bye, Gerbot. Bye, Jennifer. Bye, Michelle. Bye, Yamil and Kiri and anyone who might still be here. Brent. And anyone who might be watching this as an archive. Thank you.